Hello, hello. Good night, everybody, on this Friday night. Welcome to Shireen's World. If you haven't already, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really greatly appreciate it if you do. As you know, I do spread awareness about domestic violence and narcissistic relationships. So I come up here and I just share some videos. I share my insight, and that's just what I do. So if you haven't already, just hit the like button. We're gonna get into it tonight. So I'm gonna share a video that I came across for mental illness. If you haven't already, make sure you go subscribe to his YouTube page. It's called Mental Illness. As those you may not know, mental illness, he is a diagnosed narcissist himself, and he's up here spreading awareness about it. And I'm up here spreading awareness as a survivor myself. So we're gonna get into this, okay? So this is called The Narcissist and How They Text. Now, as I was, watching this video, I can kind of relate into this video. So, as a peer mentor, survivor, I'm going to come up here and share some awareness and, maybe you guys can relate to this. Maybe, you're going through this situation or maybe you're not. Maybe you survived the situation or maybe you just want to learn. So if you run into one of these kind of people, you'll know the red flags of what a narcissist is. So we're gonna get into this on how the narcissists and how they text, because they do text crazy. So let's get into this. And if you haven't already, make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna get this video up and running. And yes, if you haven't already, go check my community wall. You will definitely love the information that I share up there. If you haven't already, make sure you follow my Facebook page. It's called Domestic Violence and Narcissistic Relationships I Survived. Yeah, so that's what it's called. So the video is up, loading, and we're gonna get into it. Sorry that you guys can't see it, but hey, listen, you get the message, okay? If you know somebody that's going through the situation, just spread the awareness to them. You may not be going through this, but somebody out there is going through it, or they may be leaving it. Trust me, there's people out there going through it. So let's get into it. It's called The Narcissist and How They Text.
Of narcissistic people. If you're new here, my name is Lee Hammock. I'm a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and welcome to another episode of the Narcissist Code.
And also, I will be doing some commentary through the video. So this is all about awareness.
Okay, welcome back, folks. Welcome back. Welcome back. I hope y'all like the new intro. Just look, the intro is just a tester, just a test intro. I appreciate y'all being here, though, y'all. But seriously, so how do narcissistic people, toxic people text message, y'all? Weird texting habits of narcissistic people. So this video is inspired by a video. I saw the thumbnail for a video from I think his name is Dinesh. He goes by the Narc Survivor. I think it's Narc Survivor. Narc abuse coach. That's what his name is. I didn't.
Yeah, that's crazy. Like crazy. A knock abuse coach. Definitely must have to look into that. Most definitely.
Watching the video, I just saw the thumbnail. I was just like, okay, I want to do a video from the perspective of a narcissist or how narcissistic people text. Because I'm a narcissist. I know how I text. I know how I respond. And just let me preface this by saying, just because you text or respond this way, doesn't mean that you're a narcissist, y'all. Might be a little toxic, little dash, a little salt bay of toxicity, but it doesn't mean that you're a narcissist. So narcissistic people, y'all. A lot of narcissists don't read long messages that have a condescending tone to them. That have the
Okay, so if you dealt with a narcissist or you are Okay, let me put it like this. If you survive that situation, or if you are in that situation, and you ever text the narcissist a long message or whatever it is, they're not gonna like. I agree, they're not gonna read everything you say. Like they're gonna pick and choose what was said. Sometimes they may not. They may just like it. You get one or two words out of it, or they might be at your door. Okay. So if you're dealing with something like that, please get yourself out that situation because it's not cool. Like, you know, why can't you, read the messages the same way you would want me to read your messages? Because when they text all these long messages as well, and they expect you to read that too. But when you text like that, your feelings or whatever the case may be, they're picking and choosing what they want to read. And sometimes they may not read nothing.
Slight aura or slight whiff of accountability, accountability, the whiff of accountability mixed into it, you know. So as I tell people, like I'm talking to people, I'm doing my one-on-ones over Zoom, or doing my group coaching sessions and whatnot. I tell people, I say, hey, look, don't bother sending them a long-winded text message, especially when y'all are arguing and fussing and fighting, because they're not going to read it. They're going to gauge the tone of it. The first and last. Look, this is how I gauge the tone of stuff. If somebody were to send me, if me and somebody are arguing, and they send me a long-winded message, I'm going like I'm going to look at the first sentence and the last sentence to gauge the tone and determine whether or not I want to actually read. You know, whether or not this text message is worth reading, because I'm not trying to be held accountable. I know what I did wrong. I don't need you to rub it in. I don't need to hear about it again. And
I've heard that before, as a survivor, just my narcissistic ex, I've heard that before. They don't want to do all that texting. They come in your face, and that's when they start that boo-hoo crying and all that kind of stuff in your face so they could win you back over. After a while of you seeing that same pattern and the same boo-hoo cry and the same revolving door, you're gonna get tired of it. And honestly, some people don't come out alive, with these situations dealing with a narcissist. Like I said, they have no soul, no heart, no anything like that. So, like I said, if you're in a situation, please get some help. There's counselors, there's mentors, you know, there's help out there. You just reach out. There's groups.
in long-winded form, if I got to scroll the screen to get to the bottom of the message,
They're not gonna read it.
I don't want to do that. Especially if we're arguing and fussing and fighting, or we are both not communicating well, or I'm just ignoring you, and you know that I'm ignoring you. I'm not going to respond to it anyway, because that gives me the power. You messaged me, right? You messaged me, so I have the power now. I know I don't have to message you back. I don't have to message you back now because you messaged me. You still obviously care because you sent this message. I don't care if the message is a breakup text message or whatever it is, or a text message you saying you want a divorce. It's long winded. I'm not going to read it. I'm not going to respond to it, especially because I know the tone is bad. If I read the first sentence and it's a welcoming sentence, like "I love you so much," I might read that for some supply. I might read them. They'll read a long message
To
if it
make
has a good
themselves feel
tone
good.
to it. You mean, if it has a good aura to it, they'll read a long message then. But it depends on the mood, y'all. That's what I just said. If you're gonna text a narcissist, if you're in a bad mood, start it off with something something endearing. Don't start it off with like, hey, first off, don't start it off with go Google the song. If you don't know who Tupac Shakur is, go Google Tupac Shakur. Google the song "Hit 'Em Up." Don't start a text message off with the first line from "Hit 'Em Up." If you don't know what "Hit 'Em Up" says, that's why beep 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 is a bunch of cuss words. Hit 'em up. But yeah, start it off with the tone, a good tone, like something endearing, something that's
So basically, with an narcissist, you gotta feed their supply first, which is like I said, a supply could be anything. It could be females, men, whatever it is that feeds their ego. It makes their personal whatever feels good. So you have to feed their ego first, stroke their ego or whatever, and then say what you gotta say. That's crazy. That's too much. That's toxic. That's toxic.
is going to make them smile as opposed to make them frown because they're not going to read it out. They're not going to read. Very rarely will they read the entire message and get the point that you're trying to communicate to them. You know,
They
they don't
don't.
want to do that. You know, and if they do read it, the next type of stuff that they'll do, if they do read a long message or they do respond to you from any message that you sent, they'll just send a short dismissive response, one word response.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
you might send something pouring your heart out to them, like just you're hurt, you wanted to make it work, you just want an apology, you're willing to do whatever it takes, and they just send one letter. Okay,
Are you guys going through something like that? Or have you went through something like that? I went through something like that in my past, in my narcissistic ex. But baby, I'm telling you, you got to build yourself up. You got to get therapy and everything that you need, and you will feel so much better. You will feel good. Trust me, you will. You'll start learning about them. Like, it's just so much you learn about their traits. And like I said, they don't go get no help. So if you follow my community wall, if you are on my Facebook page or whatever, they don't get any help. I put up so much information about how there's no type of medicine to help them. Now, the only way they can get medicine is if they have narcissistic personality disorder with other traits. Maybe they have schizophrenia, maybe they have anxiety, maybe they have, you know, other things that does have medicine just to cure that. But there's nothing for just narcissistic personality disorder. They have to go to counseling. And then with counseling, that's just showing them how to hide everything. So who wants to deal with people like that? I'm not saying you would never come across somebody like that. It's all about witnessing the red flag and getting away from that situation. So once you get out of that situation dealing with a narcissist, you're gonna witness and know who these people are. They're gonna come in all shapes and forms, different colors, whatever. Okay. Um, is that's just who they are. But the main goal about it is you breaking a cycle and you knowing the red flags and moving on with your life and finding peace, healing, working on yourself, finding that peace within yourself, and then maybe later on in the future, someone that's for you will come across that wants you for you. But leaving a narcissist or a domestic violence relationship, the main thing you want to do is get yourself some counseling and some help. You don't want to rush into something else. That's the bad thing you want to do. Okay. And some people do that. They rush into the next thing and then they're not healed, and then now they have another narcissist or another person that's doing the same thing to them, and now you're not healed. So the whole goal about this is breaking a cycle. The whole goal of me coming up here onto social media, sharing my story, sharing information with everyone, not just from YouTube to Facebook as well. Starting this Facebook group page, starting, the Facebook page because I have two is the Facebook group page and the Facebook page. And the Facebook group page is actually private. That's where all my other survivors or victims are in there, sharing their information, sharing what they're going through, just everyone, voicing, everything that they're going through. So, yeah, please follow it. It's called Domestic Violence and Narcissistic Relationships I Survived. Also, I will be coming up here sharing information as well to you guys. The whole goal is to spread awareness as a peer mentor survivor. And I want to make sure because it's crazy. Domestic violence is not talked about enough. Like people talk about it, but it's not enough. And there's a lot of victims out there that are scared to come out and talk. Like I said, it took me a while to come up here and talk about certain things or come to social media about certain things, but my whole goal is wanting to help the next person. That's my whole goal. No matter what, is to help the next victim, the next survivor get through what they're getting through as a peer mentor. I'm not a legal aid, I'm not a doctor, anything like that. I'm a peer mentor, survivor. So I totally understand everything that you guys went through, or, whatever the case may be. And I could walk you through whatever steps that you need to be walked through. The whole goal about this is just healing when you're coming out these situations. Because these type of people don't heal. They don't go get help. No matter how many times they're gonna tell you they're gonna go get help, trust me, I heard it numerous of times. They don't go get help. They're gonna cry. They're gonna beg. You're gonna catch them doing mad things. They're just gonna. It's just so much headache. So if you're a survivor, or if you know somebody that's going through this, don't. Let me put it like this: if you know somebody that's going through a situation like this, don't talk about them. Don't beat them down or nothing like that. Try to be there for them. Be there, open an ear. Get them some a little bit of advice, but don't beat them down and oh maybe you should leave or yeah you should suggest or the things like that. But sometimes there's steps to this that you have to take, safety steps, or the protections may need to be put in place. Maybe the victim has to go far away because these people are crazy when their supply is trying to get away because they're all for themselves. So listen, make sure y'all subscribe to my channel. If you know somebody that's going through a situation, maybe they're in a DV shelter, just sitting back wondering how they need to get through the life, what they need to do. They don't know what they can do. You know, um, please,
It's crazy, isn't it?
uh,
When you respond,
please just have them definitely have them subscribe to my channel because they can definitely get some information. I kind of messed up the video over here touching the button, but yeah, absolutely, we're gonna get back into this.
it sent me a long-winded message. Like I'm going to look at the first sentence because that gives me the power. You messaged me, right? You
All
met,
right, we gotta skim
you
through
know,
this because I touched it.
you know. And if they do read it, the next if you had an iPhone, I don't know if they do this on Droids now. If you have an iPhone, they're just like they're just
All
like
right, we put you back.
one letter K. Okay, an emoji, thumbs up. What do you mean? Just an exclamation point or something like that. Or they might just, if you had an iPhone, I don't know if they do this on Droids now. If you have an iPhone, they just like the message. They won't even respond to it, y'all. Short responses or the emoji. Being dismissive, invalidating what you had said. Like you took the time, effort, energy to send this long-winded message or email, and they just responded with an emoji, or just by liking it, or not responding at all. Like I said, they go through, they skim it. I skim mess. I skim it for mean stuff.
Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. You know, when you're sitting there, you know, pouring out your life to them, whenever you're texting them, and they send back a little one emoji, like what? And it's like you don't say all of this, and you hit the like, you hit a heart button or one emoji. That's just crazy. That's how I feel. But like I said, if you're in this type of situation, please get yourself out that situation. It's never good. It's nothing good to come out of this. The most you're gonna get out of this is headaches. Some people go, like I said, there's people that can get on the lives behind this. They're never good to deal with. Dealing with a narcissist. You know? So, like I said, if you know somebody that's in a situation, help them out. Don't talk about them. Okay? Share some videos with them. Okay? Not just dealing with a narcissist, domestic violence as well. Make sure everyone is safe. You got to practice safety tips. Okay? These narcissists is crazy. All right? And also, it's Friday night. Okay? These narcissists, they in bars, clubs, trying to find them a next victim, meaning another supply. While you're probably home or at work or whatever you're doing, your narcissist is out probably finding another supply, doing whatever they doing. Okay? So, listen, we're gonna head up out of here. Thank you guys. Go check out Mental Healness page and also make sure you subscribe to my page. We just getting started. Okay. It is 2026. We just getting started. We got Like I said, I got way more content to come up here with. I got so much other stuff that I'm gonna come up here with. We're gonna switch some things around a little bit, but it's been pretty busy or whatever. So yeah, we just getting started. Okay, so welcome to Shireen's World. And if you're dealing with a narcissist, please, please leave them alone. Here's another thing. I gotta run this one back too, because I think I haven't ran this one back yet. Please, 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 do not, ladies, 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 do not register or put car insurance or pull out any phones or any debit cards, any of that for no narcissistic person that's treating you like trash. I hope y'all understanding me. Let me tell y'all something. If you haven't watched my other video that I did called Ladies, We Gotta Have a Talk, then I'm gonna tell y'all right now in the shortest version that I could give you. Okay? My narcissistic ex, okay? And I'm a survivor peer mentor. So I'm gonna show you I'm gonna show you, let you know what they do. I got the answers that I needed. And everybody's not gonna get the answers that they need. Everybody's not. Everybody's not. Some people will, some people won't, some people's not gonna understand. Okay. I have people that's hitting me up that just don't understand, you know? Let me break this down to y'all. My narcissistic ex is out here using car insurance, registration, just under other people's names. Okay. And if anything happened in those cars, if any crime get committed in them cars, who you think is held liable for that? It don't matter if that person bought the car, they put a lien out on it. Yeah, they gonna have a little, money situation with their lien and stuff, but who's still held responsible for the car insurance and registration and all that crazy stuff that's gonna hit you after that? You are. So listen, if you haven't already, it's on my community wall and it's on my Facebook page, Domestic Violence and Narcissistic Relationships Out Loud. Post it up all the information that you need to know about that, about not registering car insurance for these narcissistic people, because this is what they do. So they don't have to burden or the money and the just everything that you have to deal with. Okay. When they come to you and ask you to register and put car insurance on their cars for them, and they treating you like shit, I don't even care if they button you up. Whatever they telling you, no is no. And if they don't like it and they got a bad reaction, that is your time to go. Okay? Because no is no. Do not register and put car insurance in your name for none of these people. Ladies, I hope y'all understanding me. Because they out here doing this. It's happening. I already prevented a couple of other people, and I can help out a few other, okay, with some information. So listen, if you're going through that situation, there's mentors, there's advocates, there's so much help about that. Okay. Nobody's saying like, oh my gosh, why would you do that? And if somebody is saying that, screw them. Listen, you want to get yourself out that situation and be done with this person because they treating you like trash. Narcissist is a narcissist. Trust me. There's help out there to get you out that situation. But to prevent that, I'm gonna spread that awareness. You ladies stop registering and putting car insurance under your names for these bum, low down, narcissistic people. And I'm gonna leave it right here. And I hope you guys have a blessed Friday night. Listen, if you're going out to a party, whatever you're doing, just know they in there. They out there and they looking for you to do for them. Okay? So watch out for these narcissists. And watch out for these people that, like to put their hand on women. Because domestic violence is domestic violence. Narcissistic abuse is domestic violence. All across the board, however you want to put it. Okay? So if you know somebody that's going through the situation, please share my YouTube channel to them. Subscribe to my channel. It's going to get better. I got some healing information up there for you. I got family court information up there for you. Just check out my community wall. And that's it, that's what I'm here for. So I'm gonna head up on out of here, and I'm gonna run this back again, ladies. Do not put car insurance, registration, phone, any of that in your name. Narcissistic men. They don't give two shits about you. They don't give a fuck about what you got going on. All they care about is themselves. And that's just what it is. They're going to get bucked. They're going to get in your face. They're going to do all of this. They might cry. They might boo hoo. They might do all of this. I'm going to lose all of that. Yeah, just say all of this. Or they might butter you up and all of this. And no, you're going to hold the burden to that because when they commit a crime in that car, when they crash that car, you're held responsible for that shit. And I don't care what they tell you. If you got a title coming in your name, you hold on to that title. You don't give it to that narcissist. All right? Ladies, listen, y'all stay blessed, y'all stay strong, and stay safe out here in these streets and stay woke dealing with these narcissistic men. And if you in my area of town, or if you down up, in the NYC area, stay woke. Narcissists is everywhere. Okay? The whole goal is breaking the cycle and moving on for peace. That's just what it is. They're gonna do hoovering, they're gonna do all of that. Protect yourself. Don't fight with them. Don't argue with them. Don't feed into it. They like that. That's like feeding a demon. And as an empath, I'm me being an empath, nobody has time to feed the demon. So listen, y'all stay safe out here in the streets. It get real nasty dealing with these narcissist people. Okay? You're not gonna like it. Stay strong. If you gotta get an order of protection, get that. And listen, ladies, don't drop no order protections for these men. All right? I know my narcissistic ex out there making females drop their order protections. Don't be out there dropping your order protections. Do y'all understand? Do not drop no order protections for them because they sweet talking you. You got that for a reason.
House too quiet, heart too loud. Thought I'd die there. Look at me now, yeah. Keys in the door, I froze in the kitchen. Breath so thin, could've sworn I was missing. Purple on my skin, but my soul stayed vivid. He said you're mine, and I whispered I'm living. Phone in the drawer, but I mapped my escape. Cash in the book, just in case, just in case. Prayed on the floor, I'm not built to break. Packed one bag, walked out, didn't shake. I'm stronger than before.